Well, I waited long enough to get my parts in. We got the exhaust manifold. I'm very surprised it came with a new heat shield, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken apart. I'm gonna put some of this, I don't know what they call it. I'm just gonna use a reducer, wipe it down, and I got high temp paint. Paint this up. I like to use these little flex joints. There's negatives and positives about them, but I like to use them. So I'm just going to cut a chunk out of this new head pipe here, about the same. That way it doesn't move where my O2 sensor location is. And then I'm going to get out there and start sawzalling that shit pipe off that. Let's get this tore down. I'm going to wipe this down and put some high temp paint on this. It'll probably bubble anyways, but who cares? Gotta try. I'll have to steal the block off plates off that header. Leave this one on. Otherwise, ooh, oil just came out of there. Looks like there might be a tiny little pinhole here. Well, I'm gonna get a light. Alright. No light, that might just be an imperfection. Okay, I'm gonna go get this painted up real quick. We're gonna start getting this prepped. Alright, easiest way to get something like this on this pipe before, so you don't distort it, just get something straight. Close as you can. Same with, well, this has got a good line on it. It's a little off here. I'll just make a line. We're just going to kind of guesstimate on this. Not too bad. Let me fix my scribble here though, since I'm not an artist. Okay. Then to get these square, I just use a pipe fitter's piece here, but you don't have to. We'll just wrap this. Draw our line around it. Alright, now we need to get our measurement. It's about 7 7/8. This is just approximate. I don't care if it's perfect. Now you could use a portaband grinder or whatever. I'm going to try out my new, I decided to go ahead, since I use so many of these cutoff wheels. I bought the Bad Dog Tool cutoff wheel. I spent the money to get the arbor. Let's this will be my first shot at using it. See if it's any good. I hope so. It was expensive. Grinders. Somebody took all my grinders. Oh, found them. Whew. That's pretty. Okay. Let me get my safety stuff in. Well, that makes a pretty wide cut. That jumps around quite a bit. I guess it would be, I don't know. I have a feeling this cutoff wheel would cut a thinner cut. Let's keep using her. Well, I guess once it's broke in, it starts cutting better. Okay, I got that piece all finished up. I'm gonna take a little time out here and I need to get this off. I'm gonna pull this stud here out and then I'm gonna run a tap down all the holes. This center bolt down here, when I pulled the, where'd it go? Now this, you can see on the end, pulled some threads out, but I believe that hole's quite a bit deeper, so I'm gonna run a tap down it and I'm gonna try and find a little bit longer bolt than this, because that's just gonna pull right back out. So I'm just gonna clean all this up, tap every one of these holes, and over there on the ground is the manifold and the new guard that I'm glad it came with. All right, once I get that ready, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything bolted up, get underneath. I'm gonna get all this bolted back on. I gotta clean up a few things. And then we gotta start fitting to where we're gonna connect this flange. I'll be back when I get something done. All right, I got all that on. Let's go check it out. Then I'll show you my solution. It's all in, looks good. Got down here, it's bolted up. That flex joint is right there. It's kind of hard to see. O2 sensor is in. Now this piece here, since it's on a flex, it moves. And I am going to go ahead and put a flange right here. And lucky for me, I found an adapter. I think I bought it for the Ranchero project, but I didn't use it. I don't know why thought I needed one so big, but I didn't. And this fits in there if I beat it in there a little bit. And then this part of the pipe will fit inside like that, not loose, but it fits real tight in that other pipe so I can get a good weld. Yeah, that should hold. I'll let this cool off while I get everything else set up. I got my gasket cut earlier. That's going to be warm. And then we'll go over and weld the exhaust together. I'm going to disconnect the battery. I'm going to do some pipe prep on the other end of the exhaust. And then we'll get under there. I'll get this welded up. All right, we got her done just in time for the rain to set in. There's a key in here. Key is not in here. I gotta go find a key. All right, I found a key. Let's hope it's the key, or the key. Whoa, forgot the chair wasn't bolted in. It's one of those ejectocitos. Okay. Oh, it is the right key. Oh. Okay, I think this has a vacuum leak. Just the way it's acting, idle and high. The brakes are hard. They're not like normal Toyota brakes, so I gotta figure that out. And it's running really rich, so I don't think that O2 sensor is working at all. I don't think somebody would have been dumb enough to try and turn the idle up, but they should have. I feel like there's an exhaust leak again. Alright, I'm gonna shut this down, and I gotta take that stupid guard back off. It sounds like something's not sealed. Alright, well, me being a dumbass, I figured out what I did wrong. Plus I decided to pull the spark plug wires off, which, of course, yank the ends off. Anyways, now that I created more work for myself by pulling these ends off, I also found that these bolts I put in were just a touch too long. And you can see that nip sticking out right there. Well, this side was fine because it has this space here. Well, this side, you can see it was hitting right there, and it was pushing the it was pushing it away enough. So I'm just gonna put another washer on it, space it out. It doesn't really mean anything, but now that I get to do my work twice, because that's what I do, is I do everything twice. And then I'm gonna fix my spark plug wires if I can get these boots to move. If not, maybe I'll just steal more parts off the old white Toyota. Anyways, I'm gonna get this back together the correct way. As you can see right there, that little nub sticking out. And there's another one on this one, little nub sticking out. So, yeah. That's what I get for not paying attention. I'm gonna get this wrapped up, and then we'll see how good it sounds. Then we'll see if there's a vacuum leak, because I believe there is one. I fixed my mess up. I'm gonna take these little deals off here and see if we can fix our plug wires. I'm not sure. I'm hoping I can separate this. Anyways, I'm gonna pull these three out. Plus I want to pull the plugs anyways. I don't think these were crimped very good from the factory. That's a pretty big opening. Let's pull one, see what it looks like. Don't look too bad. A little old. I think if they were tightened properly, I'm just gonna go through and snug them up. Looks like we're fixing them all. I just gotta say, that crimp is not good. Let's see. Well, that was the tightest one so far. Okay. Let's go back and see if I can ruin one more of these plugs a little bit more. Now, what I want to do is see if I can get this boot to move. It might be glued on. Let's see if we can break it free. Spin her around. Looks like it might actually move. Okay. Oh, yep, there we go. Yeah, that wasn't crimped on very good. All right, now we got to get it lubed. A little more. I'm going to take one of these. I'm just going to try and get that a little straight. Fold that under. Put that right back in there if I can. Oh, that looks good. Yeah. Just the wrong tool for the right job, or right tool. I don't know. However you say it. Okay, I got the spark plugs all back together. Wires kind of ran. I'm going to do better later. I got to looking, if I can get a light, at the intake, thinking it might be an intake manifold leak. And I found, hard to see, this bolt right here is missing. And then, if I can see down in here, there's a nut right there missing. And then I realized that that bolt and the bolt next to it are both the wrong size. I'm gonna try and put a bolt in that back hole to hope it's not stripped, and a nut on the front one, and keep my fingers crossed that the vacuum leak goes away. I think that's the issue. These Toyotas are very temperamental. If you don't have every single bolt in and snugged up to the right torque, a vacuum leak creates and has high idle and bad brakes. So I'm going to try that first, because I might have to go get intake gaskets that I don't think I have a set here. And way down here where my finger's waving is the fuel filter, and it looks either several years old or factory, and I'd like to replace that. Okay, decided to be lazy and just put the one bolt and the one nut in. Went in fine. We're gonna do some spraying and hope the exhaust is good. Let's test it first, and then we'll spray around, see if there's any manifold leaks. Well, that battery's dead. I'm gonna go get a jumper. Alright, step away from that loud thing for a bit. The exhaust leak's gone, but I didn't feel a vacuum leak. I'm wondering if somebody messed with that adjustment on the throttle body to idle it up. I won't know until I drive it. Sounds like a pulley's going out. For some reason they still have the AC pump hooked up. I'm gonna disconnect that, and I want to see if those pulleys are bad. And then probably take it for a little rip up and down the road, and then let's do the rear window. Let's see if we can hear a difference in that. Oh, that's loose too. Dang it. Everything's loose on this thing. They're loose or lightning tight. They had the pulleys on the adjustment so tight I had to use a breaker bar. So I'm hoping, because I think that pulley, idler pulley for the air conditioning was pretty loose and rattling. So let's start it and see if that high-pitched squeal went away. Better, lots better. All right, time for a drive. Well, it's gonna take it for a drive. It's acting like it's out of gas, even though it says it has above a quarter tank. Maybe that fuel filter really does need to be changed. I'm gonna go see if I have some fuel. And see if that fixes it for now, because I don't know what else is wrong. It runs good and then dies, but right now it won't start because of the battery. All right, well, and the battery's garbage because I tried charging it overnight. I'm gonna have to go get a battery and figure out why it keeps sputtering and dying. Okay, I'm gonna try fuel first. All right, I decided to ignore the fuel issue. We're just going to do this window. I went ahead, removed this motor out of the rear door of a newer 4Runner, and it kind of fit. I had to cut some crap off that was holding this wire in. Now I'm going to cut this back and expose the wire, see if we can get this to roll up and down, or if it's going to jump, or what it's going to do. Yeah, let's leave them kind of long. Yeah, I always put a little knot in this, and it holds the wires away from each other. Turn this baby on. Oh, that's up. Okay, let's switch it. Let's hope that's down. Yeah. Perfect. Well, that worked. Now remember, this motor was out of the rear driver's door. Yep, rear driver's door of like a 93 Toyota pickup. I got 2 of these screws, and I don't think I can get that third, but these little tiny screws that hold them in. Now I got to figure out the wiring, because that's the wire there, and I don't have the other end of this. I forgot to hook that ground up back there, and I checked the little limits on the door, and you know, all the things that it has to be perfect for the windows to work. Now I think it's a ground issue, not a power, because here's what I found. This one is headlight, so if I shut the headlights off, come on, that goes out. And I know this light should be working because I changed that light and it doesn't light up. And then if I hit this, I'm using my probe as a ground now as far as I can think. And if I hit the blue, my window goes up. And if I hit the solid green, my window goes down. So I need to figure out which one of these wires is not grounded. I don't know why for the back window, but it has a window lock, which is fine, which turns out to be this wire. And if I scrape this here and run this, my window works. It actually works backwards. Well, I'm glad to know it works backwards. I'm gonna switch those wires around and lube some stuff up back there because it rolls up and down super slow. Well, the fuel issue wasn't a fuel issue. I ran a camera down my fuel neck there, and then I got to thinking, well, the battery needs to be replaced. I replaced the battery, still ran like crap. And then I noticed with all the wiring and all the other stuff, there was no ground to the body. There was only this one single ground that went to the engine. So I just put one real quick to the body. Runs way better. So I'm going to spend some time and I'm going to run some extra ground straps because there's nothing to the frame that I can see, so everything's trying to ground through the wiring harness. That's not good. Also, the brakes are still crappy, and I know it looks like a new master cylinder and brake booster, so I got to start testing to see if this little valve here is stuck. Really, we should check off on this list real quick before we end this video. I can find a pen. I already rewrote the list on here. We have got exhaust. Fuel sending was not bad. It works fine. Rear window is fixed. E-brake, well, clutch, man, it's still kind of good. E-brake I do want, and I also need to fix brakes. Brakes and, oh, bumper. Bumper, and I want side steps. Alright, all those will be on the next video because this one's getting long. So, thanks for watching.